Hello everyone, welcome to Chess Visor, your wise choice to improve your chess. Today I am going to show you the final blitz game played between Jan Christoph Duda and Magnus Carlsen, and this game decided the winner of Charity Cup 2020-22. So without much delay, we can start the game. So before that, the only request is that if you are seeing the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. So let's start the game. So here Duda in a position where he has to win the game to bounce back to neutralize the win from the Magnus, because Magnus already won the first blitz section. So now he has to bounce back. So he opened the game with the e4, and here Carlsen replied with the c6, the Karakhan, the solid defense. He needs only the draw. Okay, so that's why he is playing this solid defense. And here Duda grabbed more center, so d4, and after d5, here usually the Karakhan line goes with knight c3 or even advanced line is the main moves, but here in this position he played the fantasy or the Maraxi variation. Okay, that is f3. The idea is very simple. He is restricting the bishop now. The bishop cannot come out earlier, so that's the plan of this move. So and after this Magnus played e6, and now the game looks like it is going to transpose into the French defense. After knight c3, knight f6, and the knight is kicked back, so knight e5, and it went to knight to d7. So knight ce2, preparing to meet the move c5 so that we can push the move c3. And after knight to c6, adding one more attacker, f4, strengthening the center. Bishop e7 completes the kingside development and looking forward for castling. And after knight f3, Carlsen castled here. So after this, Duda must have felt so aggressive. So I think he played h4. The idea is very simple. He wants to play on the king side, and especially when you are playing this kind of position, when your pieces are cramped in the first and second rank or the third rank, you can easily create some attack in the king side. And we should consider one more thing while we doing this. We should have the strong center or the stable center, right? So by going h4, he is intending that okay, I'm going to attack your king. What is your plan now? So he goes f6. Okay, you are playing on the flank, so I am going to attack you or hit you in the center. What's your plan now? So Duda says a3, and looking to grab more space in the he is trying to play on the both sides. That's the plan. So a5, stopping the idea altogether, and now knight g3. And after this move, Carlsen played queen b6, because earlier the knight was actually putting more action in the d4, because now the g3, the knight went to g3, so he is pointing out that's it. Okay, queen b6. So here after bishop to d3, Carlsen took once here. There is a small tactics we should aware, especially if you are a beginner. Here we cannot take twice here. Okay, the reason being, after let's say knight takes c takes d4, knight takes d4, and after knight takes d4, the queen cannot touch the knight. It's because of the discovered attack. Okay, it's very common stuff in the French defense, right? So here we can see one more move here. Instead of that blunder, black could try another option, that is f takes e5. In that case, we can play f takes e5. I think in this line black is better. Instead of that, we can even play bishop e3. Once he takes, we can play e takes d4. Still the bishop is immune to capture because of the same reason, right? So the black can continue with either knight to c5 or bishop to c5, but we could not see that line. So here he went after c takes d4, he went knight to g5. It's a sacrificial idea. His idea is very simple. He wants to open the h file. If suppose the sacrifice is accepted immediately, let's say he takes, okay, we can play bishop takes h7. We should not take the pawn immediately, otherwise black is winning. So after bishop takes h7, king takes h7, after h takes g5, discovered check, and then king goes back to g8, and now we can play g6. This is the whole idea of the sacrifice. Okay, the pawn is controlling both the escape squares of the king, and the queen is ready to jump into the go to the h5 square, and the mate is threatened already. So to stop this idea, black has to give the piece back with a bishop g5, and after f takes g5, and black can play rook e8. Okay, even if we play queen h5 and followed by queen h7 and the threatened mate, the king can easily escape, and I think black is better. Okay, sorry, white is better. but still the king will be running for the life. So that's the idea of this variation. So let's go back. That's why I think Carlsen did not accept this sacrifice because of the following reason. H6 kicking the knight. Now he says, okay, I'm closing the file down. What's your plan? So he took the pawn in the center of the board. That is the e6 is hanging, but it's very risky because there is this x-ray going on the e6 square, right? So Magnus plays this tactical move, knight d takes e5. You may think about this, why we are giving up the rook now. Okay, it's a complete closed position, especially the French defense. There is no role for the rook immediately. That is why he is considering this as a equal, and actually computer likes this move. So knight takes f8, knight takes d3 check, the in-betweener, and after queen takes d3, and then bishop takes f8. Now we have the imbalance of the position. What's the imbalance? Black is having the bishop pair, and we have got one rook and a pawn for the bishop, I think. Yeah, so bishop to d2, and this is a mistake here. I think I would like to highlight one more variation here. In this position, instead of b2, I think d2, rook could have gone to the b1 square. The idea is very simple. I want to move the bishop, but the b2 is hanging, right? So I don't want to go down that line. So that was the right choice. For example, yeah, bishop g4 castles, even d takes e3 is not a problem because bishop e3, queen c7, and then even we can take the pawn in the center. Okay, black is okay and white is slightly better. So instead of this, Duda went other variation, that is bishop d2. And one more thing is, we cannot castle directly, that is also there. Okay, if you are wondering about castling because of the discovery, it's a problem. Okay, now it's a problem because now if we play bishop e3 and there is no discovery for us to gain the tempo on the queen, that's why the rook b1 is the move. Okay, say for example after d4, white is lost. Yeah, so after bishop takes f8, bishop d2 and bishop to g4, the bishop is kind of hanging, I mean the undefended piece, right? So Duda thought for a few seconds and he went immediately queen to g6. Okay, we cannot, I think we can take the b2 pawn directly, I think so, but Carlsen here went bishop to g4. It's very logical move because of the following reason. He wants to improve the rook's post because the king is still in the center, right? So that's the whole idea, and he can easily attack the king. Okay, so after bishop g4, Duda went queen g6. That's a mistake actually, because of the queen takes b2. We are hitting the rook and it is coming with the tempo on the king. That's why it's a queen g6 is a mistake. So here rook b1 counter attacking the queen, and queen simply I think queen did not move, rather he played this move, that is rook e8 check. So in the previous move, instead of rook b1, if you consider castling, okay, to connect your rooks, but we are losing this piece and you can get the piece back, but black is better because after d takes c3, you cannot stop these connected passers. Okay, it's a complete winning position for black, and that's why queen takes b2 and then rook b1, rook e8 check, and the king is forced to move away from the bishop. Okay, so king f1, queen takes d2, and after this he went down this line, that is queen takes e8, queen takes f4 check. Okay, here after king to g1, he played queen takes g3. Okay, so after this rook takes b7 and another mistake. And here after one move, you can pause the video to, you can find, or you can try to find what was played in the game. And here Magnus played this amazing move, that is knight e5. It's not it's a useless piece which is sitting on c6 and it is being under attack. So he is just bringing the piece into the game. Okay, the other moves we can consider, we can even play bishop to f3. Yeah, bishop to f3 is another possibility, but knight e5 is an instant blow because it adds one more attacker to the king. Duda was having the rook extra, right? So he was having the exchange since from 15 moves earlier, but the rook did not come out, right? So it was a useless piece which is sitting in the corner, and after knight e5, black is killing white king in few moves. Say for example, and that's why after knight e5 actually Duda resigned the game. Say for example, if the game continues for example rook to b1, in this case it's a mate in 3. Okay, queen e1 check and king h2, knight f3, sacrificing the piece to open the line. So after queen f2 is a checkmate. And if you defend the back rank with rook b1, in this case we can play d takes c3, and you can see this 2 pawns is very strong. And not only that, rook to c1, we can play king h7. We can even give up this piece. Okay, so after queen takes f8, queen e3 check. After king h2, queen f2, and then he is preparing the move knight f3 check. Okay, rook hf1, knight f3 check, king h1, and then queen takes h4 is a checkmate. Okay, so that is why after this knight e5 move, Duda resigned the game. Okay, so what do you think about this game? Let me know your ideas, thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And again, if you are new here and you are watching this video till the end, and thank you so much, and please consider subscribing to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. As usual, this is Chess Wiser, your wise choice to improve your chess.